everyone. If you are new here, my name's Cheyenne. I am a plus size fashion and lifestyle influencer, but if you've stumbled across my page, you probably were looking up fibroid surgery or fibroid removal surgery. I just recently had my fibroid removed. This is going on week 7 now, so I've been in recovery and I've been really healing well, and I wanted to give my feedback and my experience and help other people with their experience, because it was really hard for me to find a video that went into detail about every little thing. And I'm a hypochondriac. I will always think something is wrong with me, so I wanted to hit every single detail, every possible question that you may have. I wanted to try to answer it as best as possible. A lot of people on my Instagram were wondering what was going on with me and why was I having surgery. So this is the explanation, and this is the why and the how and the everything in between and how everything went down. I had gone to see my OBGYN back in I believe it was March of last year. I went to see her. I was having irregular periods, and it really didn't make any sense to me why I was missing my period for the first 3 months of the year. I knew there was no possibility of me being pregnant. I thought maybe it was my diet, because I had been trying to see a nutritionist and she was helping me with weight loss stuff and just eating better. It did sort of kind of have to do with my diet. There also was some underlying issues that I really didn't know until I was diagnosed with this fibroid. Back in September of last year, I had an event on campus, and this event, it was Student Success Fest, a very big event. I was running the event, and I went to my back seat and I lifted up my seats with my stomach. Now, I think that's when I developed my umbilical hernia. So I felt this pinching in my stomach, and it wasn't going away. It didn't go away all through the weekend, and it just was not going away. No matter how much I rested, it still was pinching me. Just didn't really know what else it could be other than a hernia. I kept looking it up and looking up and looking it up, and it just was the same persistent pain. So I decided that Tuesday when I got back to work that I would go see the doctor. So I made an appointment, and my doctor said, well, you know what? If you want peace of mind to see if you have a hernia or not, she couldn't feel it because my stomach, I have a lot of fat in my stomach. She tried to feel it and she couldn't feel anything. She's like, I don't feel a hernia, but if you want peace of mind, let's go ahead and get you a CT scan. Around October 12th or something like that, because I had my CT scan the same day as the Jonas Brothers concert that I went to. So I went to the CT scan, and then I went to the concert afterwards because I was like, I need something to, have fun, because this is crazy trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And I was panicking about the hernia. So I get my results back on the weekend, and my results say I do have an umbilical hernia, very small though, and I also have a 17 centimeter mass. And that was so shocking to me. I couldn't believe that I actually had a mass, and that mass was that large. I scrounged through the cupboard to try to find a ruler to see how much 17 centimeters was, and to find that that's almost 7 inches was insane. So a 7-inch mass was sitting somewhere in my stomach region. She ordered for me to have an MRI and to go see my gynecologist ASAP, because it was in my uterine area. I look at the pictures and I saw the big picture, the mass was this large. My gynecologist at the end of October, I believe it was October 26th or something like that, and she told me that I would need surgery, that the mass is a fibroid, and that fibroid is too large to be just dissolved with medication or anything like that. It has to be removed surgically. And she said that we could do it laparoscopically, so it would be minimally invasive, and that it would just heal within 2 weeks and I'll be fine. She told me that my fibroid had been growing for 17 years. she said that it's growing a centimeter a year. So I had this in my uterine wall for a very, very, very long time. Basically, when I found that out, I was really shocked. I was like, wow, okay. And she said that I had to lose at least 10% of my body weight. So at that time, that was 30 pounds. So in November, I started going to the gym, and I got a gym membership, and I ended up loving it. I ended up really, like, just truly loving how I felt after I left the gym. And even now, like, in recovery, I'm like, when can I go back? When can I go back? I did lose weight, but also, like, it helped me motivate myself to move more when I was afraid to move. I got a personal trainer, and he helped me a lot, like, learn different things in the gym. So that was very helpful for me in the process of trying to prep for this surgery. Something that if I didn't go to the doctor and think I had a hernia, I would still have a fibroid in my uterine wall right now. The more that I would move around, like I was going to the gym, the more I'd move around and bend down up until my surgery, I felt like really, really like bad stomach pains. Like, it was just so excruciating to the point where I'd be hugging my stomach and it just would hurt so bad. Days leading up to the surgery, I prepped as much as possible. I organized everything. I cleaned the bathrooms, made sure that I had, you know, clean sheets, clean pajamas. I made sure that everything was put away, everything was organized and clean and sterile. I do influencing on social media. That is basically like my part-time, full-time job, whatever you want to call it, you know. Week off prior to my surgery. My surgery was on March 15th. And during that week, before that Friday, I was filming videos. I filmed over 50 videos for Reels, and I knocked it out. I took a bunch of pictures. I did so much prep for content-wise that it's week 7, and I still have videos that I filmed pre-surgery that I'm uploading on Instagram right now because I'm still trying to edit through them. That's how much prep work that I did. And I'm so proud of myself that I did that because I did not stress a single bit during recovery. I want to create a blog specifically for my checklist for things that you need in recovery for fibroids. So make sure that you're looking out for that. And I'll leave the link down below when that blog is created so you guys can check it out so then you have a checklist, because I know I'm a planner and I really, really needed one and I couldn't find one. The links to everything I got down below in my Amazon storefront for my surgery recovery. So moving on to the day of surgery, I got there at 5 o'clock. I was supposed to be back there by 5:30 because my surgery was at 8:30, so I wanted to be there on time. They had to walk me through a couple things and just like, you know, all the doctors and nurses had to visit, the anesthesiologist. So I got back there, I took a pregnancy test, they made you pee in the cup area where they had the bed, and on the bed was the gown that I had to wear, the antibacterial wipes in a little orange pouch in bed, and it was just the weirdest feeling in the world because I was like in bed naked in a random place. Like, obviously it was a hospital, but like it was just really weird, you know, and it was my first surgery, so like I was very scared. I was very anxious telling the nurses that. The nurses asked me a lot of questions. They asked me like what surgery was I having. Her aide came in and was talking to me about how the surgery was gonna go, what they were gonna do. So I felt very knowledgeable. I even spoke to my doctor that was going to do the surgery, my OB, and she's great. She was wonderful. She like basically calmed all my fears to be calm. You know, my parents were back there and I felt calm. It was around 8:25. Okay, like it's time to go. So the nurses wheeled me away and I was already like forgetting things. Like I was already like out basically. I started kind of like freaking out a little bit, like, oh my God, like this is happening. You know, when I was speaking to my doctor prior to going back, she told me that she hadn't seen me since October, so it was crazy, and she was so happy that I lost about 23 pounds. she said that if there's any surgeries that need to be done during the time, like a hysterectomy or, you know, anything else, that it was going to be done during the time of the surgery for the fibroid, because it's just better to get it all done then than have to reopen me back up at another time. So I said, okay, like, I'm fine with it, whatever you need to do. I felt very comfortable with her. But there was a big thing that I was concerned about, was losing my uterus. I am 28 years old. I have not had kids. I want kids, and I was very scared that I was going to wake up and not have my uterus. That was a big fear of mine.
And just real concerns here. This whole surgery thing happening next week, like, really is scaring me, because there's a possibility that I could have a hysterectomy and I could never have kids. Like, it's really like it did not hit me. I'm just really upset about the whole thing. I think it's just gonna be a lot. It's gonna take a lot of recovery time, and it's gonna be a long time for me to make content. So I am busting my ass for the next week to make content for here, because I don't want to lose momentum.
Doctor came in and told me that my fibroid is the size of 2 uteruses. They wheeled me back at 8:25. I'm getting ready to go back there. I say bye to my parents, everything. I just remember being put up to the height of the other table, and they told me to, like, scoot up onto the other table, and I noticed that the pad was pink. I said, oh my gosh, it's a pink pad, like, you guys knew I was coming, you know, because I love pink. I got on there, I got on and positioned myself correctly, and I remember, like, people walking around the room and talking and stuff, but I don't remember going to sleep. Like, I went to sleep, but, like, I don't remember a single thing other than, like, them telling me to put my arms out, and that was it. Like, I was out. Like, I don't remember anything else, which is really crazy to me. Like, I do not know what happened in that room until I was out. So I get out of surgery. It is surgery at 8:30, mind you, okay? That's when they started. And I got out of surgery and in the recovery room and woke up at 2:35. That is a long time. From the time my mom got the text message of when I was out in the recovery room was 2:07. So I only spent maybe about 20 minutes or so. I just could not believe that, like, I woke up that fast. My nurse in the recovery room was very rude. I woke up and she's like, okay, you're gonna have to stay here another night. You're gonna have to stay here another night. And I'm like, what? You've gotta be kidding me right now. Another night? I'm not staying here. I'm going home. I only packed one pajama. And it's my pajama to get the hell out of here. So she tells me that I have to stay another night. I look down and I have this abdominal brace on my stomach. This huge thing. And it's wrapped around my stomach, holding my stomach together. I'm like, what happened? Like, I look down and I'm like, what happened? Why is there a big, gigantic bandage? Picking up where I left off, I know I am in different outfits. I had to pause because it was a lot. It's overwhelming looking back on the experience. Had my surgery, did not go as planned. The fact that I had an open myomectomy, so the incision, I'm going to put on the screen the picture. So just a warning, you're going to see some blood and some scars, because honestly, I wanted to know what it looked like, and nobody was showing me what it looked like right after surgery in video format. So here it is. It was like really red. It was irritated. They had glue all over my stomach, and every incision that they had made, and it was like a really high, like, surgical grade glue. So it stuck on my skin, and honestly, I still look at my skin and I'm like, is that glue? Like, so, and this is 8 weeks later, convinced that I wasn't going to have my uterus. Like, that was the next thing they were going to tell me. Back there for 6 hours. I lost a liter of blood. I also was put on an angle to see if they could grab the fibroid out, still doing it laparoscopically. And I was losing, like, breath. Like, my breathing was not right, and my heart rate went up very, you know, in distress. So they decided to lay me flat and just go ahead and cut me open. I have 3 incisions on the sides of my stomach, and then 1 long one in the middle. I had a small umbilical hernia, very tiny, but she told me after surgery that if I had not gone in for the pain that I had with my hernia, the fibroid would still be in my uterine wall. She said my fibroid that she pulled out was a 3.3 pound fibroid, and it was 17 centimeters long, and it was massive. So it was basically around 7 inches. The doctor ended up telling me, she said, I've never not completed a plan that we had pre-discussed. So I was her first patient ever that basically it didn't go as planned. It turned out to be better for me to have it cut open, because obviously they wouldn't have been able to get to it. So I'm glad that I had the open myomectomy, but also, like, I knew that the recovery was going to be so much more, and it was going to be even worse than, you know, what it was going to be. And it was very looped up on drugs. I mean, they give you everything. Like, you can ask for anything that you want and they will give it to you. Like, my first thing I wanted was a cup of ice with, like, Diet Coke, and it was so good. Oh my gosh, I think about it all the time.
Y'all, I survived. I have this cute little cup. This is that expensive $10,000 cup. Yeah. I should have gotten a partnership with the hospital, because real-time stories is crazy after surgery. I'm okay, but, like, I'm in a lot of pain, and ended up not being laparoscopic. It was a straight myomectomy surgery, so I have a big scar. Again, me and my scars, after 6 weeks, is still going to the beach. Period.
You know, so they gave me crackers and everything. I was able to eat a little bit, but they gave me I couldn't even say it. Eat a Salisbury steak, whatever that is, ever again. Being in a hospital room for the first time ever. I had never thought that was ever going to happen to me until I had, like, kids one day, you know. Another part of this, I ended up keeping my uterus, which is really great. I'm young still. I want to have kids one day. Maybe, you know, in the future. My biological clock, I feel like, is ticking. Overnight, I was really just, like, anxious, so I asked them, like, can you please, like, give me something for anxiety, because I really was starting to stress out. I'm more bothered by the catheter. They put a catheter in you during surgery, and they leave it in there because obviously, like, you just had surgery. Like, you're not going to be able to get up to pee right away. I knew I was peeing because I could feel it, but also, like, it was just a really weird feeling. Like, once I started to get irritated, like, I just wanted it out. Around 9 p.m., I kept counting the hours. Like, I would look at my phone and be like, oh my god, it's 7 o'clock. Okay, 2 more hours. So they took it out. So then maybe around 11 o'clock, I ended up getting up from the bed for the first time from surgery. The anesthesia was starting to wear off, and I wasn't feeling as loopy. So I got up to go to the bathroom to pee. Felt so much pressure on my stomach. I felt like this, like, gel looking, like, orange thing on my gown. And I looked at it and it was in my hand, and I basically passed out standing up. So gross. It made me so nauseated. I went to go wash my hands. I walked out of the bathroom, and then the nurse was holding my hand, and I said, no, I'm going to throw up. So I walked up to the sink, and I said, I am going to throw up, like, right now, because I thought that little orangey jelly looking thing was like something from like inside of my body. My mom's like, you had Jello. And I said, I never ate Jello. I swear up and down I never had Jello. I was in so much pain that I really feel like it was like a guardian angel of some sort was like putting that on me. That came over me because I literally passed out. I'm walking to the bed like nothing's wrong with me. Like, I'm walking to the bed, normal. And I go sit down in the bed and swing my legs over like I didn't just have surgery. Like, I'm telling you, something happened. And that the reason why that little jelly thing was there to help me get on the bed, because it was going to be very difficult. I did not move from that bed until the next day. On the 16th of March, that was my last day I was in there. I checked out that same day. Wheeled me down.
It's over. The worst part is yet to come. The recovery. Cut.
The minute that I got upstairs was the minute I started to have very sharp pains in my stomach. I had like excruciating pain, and I think it was because I had a past gas. I had to move around a little bit, and I have this orthopedic like post-op surgery pillow. I said I need something to be able to prop myself up, so that was a big help. Recovery was difficult. Overall, it was probably the worst thing I've ever gone through. It's 2 days after surgery, and your girl is looking good. I look good. I'm sorry. I put braids in my hair because they said I'm not going to keep messing up my hair. It keeps getting knotted. And my shake has arrived. I got a strawberry and a chocolate and a vanilla.
Well, chocolate and vanilla is one shake.
Yeah, but I need this so I can take a shit. Pain was excruciating. There were moments where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I'm going to insert a lot of video clips of like how I was feeling, but I was very emotional. I told myself I would document my mental breakdowns, and this is me documenting my mental breakdown. I'm like, I think I'm getting like anxious from being in the house. I'm not used to just being in the house all the time. Like, I like to go around, drive around, and like do things, open my Celsius, you know, yada yada, y'all already know. So I'm just like really struggling. Just really struggling. I'm sad. But my scars are looking better. My scars are looking better. I'm scared to see the big scars still, but I'm just trying to stay positive. And I'm really sad. On the plus side, I have been watching the Kardashians. I walked myself to the bathroom today, and I wiped my own ass, which is great. I finally shit, so I'm so happy about that. Very anxious and nauseous. My ass hurt so badly because I was laying down the whole time the first week. I'd walk downstairs maybe once, and I would sit up in a chair, have like a pillow behind me, and I just watched TV shows. I did, you know, some editing of my videos. There were some parts during recovery that were hard, like the emotional side of it. I was very upset. I was starting to get a lot of cabin fever. During the recovery process, I was very emotional, and I think that had a lot to do with the way my scar looked cosmetically. It was not what I had anticipated that was going to happen. You know, going into the surgery, I knew that there was a possibility that I could lose my uterus. I knew that, you know, there was a possibility of the open myomectomy. I think it was going to happen to me. I was gonna cry. I'm happy that I went through it because it made me a lot stronger. And I really didn't think that it was like I was going to ever feel better. the beginning, you think, oh my gosh, like this is the end of it all. Like this is the worst, and it was the worst, and it is going to be the worst. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was very difficult. I am a side sleeper, okay? I still cannot sleep on my side. A couple other things that were essential were tissues. I was crying a lot. Like I said, I was very emotional, and I think overall it was just because I was nervous about the scar, and I was nervous overall because it felt different, and I was like, oh, why am I going through this? Like, this is so crazy. Like, I was just a lot of like self-doubt, a post-operation depression kind of thing. So it was just a lot of like what ifs and unknowns. One of my favorite purchases that I needed so desperately was my grabber. My grabber from Amazon. Anything that would fall to the floor, I'd pick it up with my grabber. I couldn't bend down and I couldn't lift more than 5 pounds. So I had this grabber with me everywhere I went. Washcloths. I bought washcloths specifically to wash my incision areas. I didn't want to mix them with any like face towels or any other like towels. I just wanted washcloths that were going to be cleaning my incision. I did not want to risk getting infections. The way my incision is now, there's a little dent. But it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought. Like, when I look at it now, the scar is not bad at all. I was worried for nothing. And I want to make that very clear. I was worried for absolutely nothing. Everything turned out great. Even the laparoscopic scars from the 3 sections on the sides, those have basically gone away. Like, I can't even tell between my stretch marks and my, like, laparoscopic scars. I am at week 8 of recovery. Tomorrow is actually going to be 9 weeks since surgery. I can't believe I just said that. 9 weeks later, I am still in pain. Idea that this was going to last as long, but I feel like I'm getting these pains like phantom pains. I'm very proud of myself that I've made it this far. Today's the first day I've actually put on regular clothes. I have my pink skirt on, and it actually doesn't feel like tight. It's kind of loose up here, so that's good. But I'm struggling the way this scar looks, y'all. I know I was like, okay, like it's fine, like scars will be fine, but this main one is terrible. It is nasty. Like, I just can't believe it. I cannot believe that's what's on my body right now. Like I'm thankful that the fibroid's gone. I know I'll feel a lot better soon when I'm not in pain, but oh my gosh, it looks terrible. I can't deny it. It's bad. 2 months basically after surgery, I just graduated with my master's degree, and I walked across the stage 2 months post-op. To be able to graduate with my master's degree after 2 months post-operation was insane. This is editing Cheyenne here. So now I'm officially 12 to 13 weeks post-op. I have officially lost count, but once June 15th hits, then it's been 3 months since my surgery. So I want to show you guys what my incision looks like post-op 3 months. So this is what it looks like. Not terrible. It's you could still see like the divide in my stomach. The incision goes like this, around my belly button and then down. Training my body to get back into how it was moving prior to surgery. Going and moving more, I'm lifting more things. I'm lifting more than 5 pounds like the doctor said for me to do. So that's kind of like where I'm at now. It really is a lot better that I've had this fibroid removed. 100%. If you're going through this, if you are, approaching surgery and this is like your first time, just know that it will be okay. I didn't think it was going to be okay. I was very scared and very nervous, and you are completely valid in those feelings. You communicate with your doctor like your fears, and just don't be afraid to tell them what you're feeling, and ask the questions that you need to ask. Really hard to go through, and recovery will be difficult, but you can make it through. So just keep staying positive. Make sure you're prepped as much as you can. Clean before. Hope you guys enjoyed this little story time. Even if you're not like having a fibroid surgery, I hope this gave a little insight as to what happened and why I was like scheduling so many videos in advance. I hope this video was really helpful and it kind of gave you a little glimpse of what to expect. But I will see you all in my next video. Bye!